The wait might finally be over. This dull, sideways price action, this long reaccumulation phase is on the verge of ending. That's the buzz coming from countless chart analysts, and most of them are singing the same tune. The sideways grind is either wrapping up or we're in the very early stages of a breakout. Either way, the dull days are numbered. If they're right, the monotonous range-bound action, with XRP hovering just above $2, is about to transform into something much more exciting. A major breakout could be right around the corner, finally pushing XRP into true price discovery after over 7 years of waiting. In this latest update, I'm bringing you insights from a variety of chart analysts, 8 XRP-focused experts to be exact, and I think you'll be excited by what they're saying. But before we dive in, let me be clear. I'm not a financial expert, and this isn't financial advice. Don't make any investment decisions based on what I say or write. Always do your own research. That said, let's dive in. There's a lot to unpack here. It's 7:03 p.m. Central Time, Monday, April 21st, 2025, and here's where things stand. XRP is at $2.07, and Bitcoin sits at $87,362.00. Earlier today, we saw a surge. XRP hit $2.13, and Bitcoin climbed just over $88.00. The buzz was palpable. Was this the breakout moment? Maybe, maybe not. I'll never claim to know the exact moment the market flips, but I can see why many believe we're either at the peak or very close. The signs are everywhere, and I've discussed this confluence in recent videos. Chart analyst TechDev, with his 520,000 followers on X, echoes this sentiment. He's been tracking liquidity trends, and here's the takeaway. If you're not already convinced that what's coming could blow minds, you might be in for a surprise. History has a way of rhyming, after all. Liquidity broke out months ago and has been climbing steadily since. Remember, risk on assets like stocks, Bitcoin, and altcoins tend to move together. This isn't speculation, it's a pattern we've seen play out over and over. And liquidity? It needs a home. As it grows, it flows into risky assets, fueling the fire. Chart analyst Mustache also weighed in, sharing the crypto total market cap chart with the simple but loaded message: altcoins, it's almost time to make crypto great again. The stage is set and the momentum is building. So here's the thing. What we're seeing right now, it's just history repeating itself. Same patterns, same cycles, only the timing's a bit off. And that's always the case. This is why I keep saying, no chart analyst on the planet can consistently nail timeframes. Even if they spot the right structure, charts don't run on schedules. Formations can play out faster, slower, you just never really know. That said, what's being pointed out here is key. We've broken through resistance, dipped back to test it, and now the next move is up. Sideways action isn't forever, and we're far from done. It's crazy to think this cycle ends with all the global liquidity pumping into markets just going nowhere. I'm not buying that for a second. Take this post by chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto. He's calling for Bitcoin to hit $99,000.00, pointing to the falling wedge breakout as his first target. And he's not alone. Tons of analysts are calling for massive moves. For example, chart analyst Crypto Wizard, yes, that's the name, who's predicting XRP breaks into double digits this cycle, also sees big things for Bitcoin. Looking good, is the time finally here? Bitcoin has broken its 91-day downtrend, and holding above $85,000.00 could ignite a rally straight to the $100.00 mark. Conviction pays off, and patience does too. Another trusted analyst is saying the same thing. This might actually be the moment. And let's be honest, I hope they're right. It feels like they just might be. Chart analyst Rect Capital shared, Bitcoin's long multi-month downtrend is officially over. And here's the exciting part. When a technical downtrend breaks, an uptrend usually follows. It's a recurring theme echoed by so many reputable analysts I've followed for years. There's no way this is a coincidence. It's all lining up. But enough about Bitcoin. Let's shift gears to XRP because let's face it, that's what we're really here for. Sure, I'm happy to dive into some Bitcoin analysis. Let's face it, Bitcoin sets the tone for the market. Even if you're like me and way more into XRP and altcoins, what happens with Bitcoin matters. That said, let's focus on XRP for a moment. Chart analyst Dark Defender is calling for some big moves ahead. On the weekly chart, XRP is wrapping up its consolidation phase, and here's the scoop. The consolidation zone is tightening, and as soon as resistance breaks, folks will start shouting, "Wave 5 is here!" He's confident that this breakout is just around the corner. According to him, key supports sit at $1.88 and $1.60, while resistance levels to watch are $2.22 and $2.75. And here's the kicker, he believes XRP will smash past $18.00 this market cycle. He's stood firm on this prediction, and honestly, I'm rooting for him to be right. Meanwhile, the blockchain backer dropped a fresh video today. He highlighted ongoing bullish divergences on Bitcoin's price chart while XRP flirts with a range breakout. If you haven't caught that video yet, it's worth a watch. His conviction is rock solid, and he's one of the best analysts out there. He's confident that XRP is gearing up for its final push upward. Of course, it's not going to be an instant straight shot to the moon, but if these analysts are right, we could be looking at some major moves ahead. It might bounce back to retracement levels, dip a bit, and then take off. Big picture, the trend is still solid. Sooner rather than later, this thing's going to move. Here's a post from a charting expert. He's calling it XRP Wyckoff reaccumulation. Based on the schematic he shared, you can see where he thinks we're at in the cycle. The takeaway? Number go up. While he's not locking in a specific timeline, if his analysis holds, we could see a return to all-time highs within the next 3 to 4 weeks. And then, price discovery begins. He's betting on double-digit action, but it might even happen faster than expected. We can't say for certain if the schematic is spot on, but sometimes these things take on a life of their own. They can pick up speed, slow down, it's all part of the process. And let's not forget the bigger picture, like the whole tariff drama that's still in the mix. Now, once that clears up, it could really create the perfect storm, aligning just as we'd hope. If that happens, things could take off even faster. He's confident this schematic is showing a reaccumulation phase, and honestly, it's hard to argue. Seeing XRP hold above $2.00 for this long, that's unprecedented. Sure, it's hit $2.00 before, but those moments were rare and fleeting. Now, this level of sustained strength, it feels like XRP is finally breaking free from artificial suppression, and the momentum is incredible to watch. Check out this exciting update from chart analyst Javon Marks. He points out it was only a matter of time before XRP saw a greater than 3.84x surge. Alongside his analysis, there's a chart highlighting projections for 2024 and where things currently stand. Javon notes that with bullish signals now emerging on lower time frames, another strong upward wave seems to be on the horizon. Spot the trend here? Today's analysts are buzzing with optimism, confident that a major move is imminent. Adding to the excitement, Stephos Crypto chimed in with his take, and he's fully on board with this bullish outlook. He's calling it a massive XRP breakout is on the horizon. According to him, it's about to shatter that wedge pattern, or maybe it's more of a symmetrical triangle. Either way, big moves are coming. Now, let me show you something interesting. I shared this post the other day, so I won't go through it again, but it's worth highlighting. It's from Credible Crypto, who believes XRP might have just carved out a local bottom. This was reposted by Crypto Insight UK, who agrees. Bottom forming on XRP. That was a few days ago, but now I'm seeing more analysts echoing the same sentiment. Here's the thing. When a wave of top-tier analysts starts pointing in the same direction, it's hard to ignore. No, it's not a guarantee, but from experience, when pros with great track records align like this, they're typically on the money. We've seen it before. Like the breakout back in November. And now, here's a fresh post from chart analyst JD to back it up. He says the key level for XRP is $1.99. If we can hold that as support, we could see one final epic surge. A move so massive it feels biblical, just before the inevitable historic 90% crash that wipes out the majority. And yes, that crash will come. Even after hitting an all-time high, let's say $10.00, a huge drawdown is almost guaranteed. Maybe it won't be exactly 90%, but the concept is spot on. Picture it. XRP, one of the most talked about cryptos in the world, finally breaking out after 7 long years. The excitement will be off the charts. Newcomers will rush in, buying green candles like there's no tomorrow. Ironically, they ignored it when it was at the cycle's bottom, sitting quietly around $0.28. When XRP hits double digits, expect a lot of excitement and a lot of movement. One thing is certain, he's still convinced a massive surge is on the horizon before it takes a sharp dive. Honestly, I'm pumped for that dip, because when XRP craters, it's a clear sign we're deep in a bear market. And you know what? That's when I'll jump back in, stacking up on a ridiculous amount of XRP all over again. That's the plan. Rinse and repeat. Now, let's check out chart analyst Dom's latest take. He shared this update. XRP eyes remain fixed on $2.20. As I mentioned in last week's market overview, breaking above $2.20 could spark a strong rally to $2.40. Altcoins are lagging a bit behind Bitcoin for now, as Bitcoin dominance is climbing. Dom also points out that XRP has done a solid job holding the $2.00 mark and staying above the election BWOP level, which is great. But the clock's ticking. We need to see it push $2.20 soon, or a Bitcoin rejection could spoil the party. This aligns with what many respected XRP chart analysts are predicting. The next move could be pivotal. This is definitely a moment to be excited about. Give it a little more time, and one day it's just going to take off. Suddenly, boom. Minds blown everywhere. That day is coming. By the way, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't make any moves based on what I say, okay? Seriously, that would be a very, very bad idea.